Have you ever wondered why some people reach 90 years old walking upright, with firm steps and without assistance, while others can barely move at 70? The answer could be much simpler than you imagine. My name is Dr. Hernandez, a geriatrician with more than 25 years of experience, and today I'm going to reveal the secret that the pharmaceutical industry has been hiding. 6 specific vitamins that can completely transform your mobility and make you walk as if you were 30, even when you reach 90 years old. What I'm about to share with you won't be heard in a conventional medical consultation. It's information that could free you from the fear of losing your independence and completely transform your future. If this information seems useful to you, I invite you to subscribe right now and activate the notification bell to receive more advice like this that can radically change your quality of life in old age. Allow me to share something personal. My grandfather Manuel passed away at 97, and until his last day, he walked 2 kilometers daily without a cane or walker. His friends of the same age could barely get up from the sofa. As a doctor, this difference obsessed me for years. Why do some age with dignity and mobility while others become confined and dependent? This question led me to more than a decade of research that would forever change my understanding of aging. I perfectly understand the fear produced by seeing how our body begins to fail. That moment when you climb stairs and your knees creak, when you get out of bed and your first steps are painful and stiff. The frustration of needing help for activities you previously performed without thinking. The silent fear that one day you might fall and never fully recover. What most doctors will never tell you is that loss of mobility is not an inevitable result of aging. In reality, it's the result of decades of specific nutritional deficiencies that remain invisible until it's too late. The good news is that these deficiencies can be corrected at any age, and the results can be amazing. Doña Elena, an 82-year-old patient, came to my consultation in a wheelchair. Her children had brought her because she could no longer walk without help, and they were considering a nursing home. After analyzing her blood with specialized tests that most doctors don't even know about, I discovered severe deficiencies in all the vitamins I'm going to reveal to you today. 6 months after starting the protocol I'll share with you, Elena was not only walking without help, but had completely regained her independence. "Doctor," she told me with tears in her eyes, "you've given me back my life." If you're finding value in this information, I ask you to give this video a like. I would also love to know your opinion in the comments, and if you know someone who could benefit from this information, share this video with that person. It could be the difference between a dependent old age or one full of vitality and freedom. Now let's move on to the most impactful part of my research. What I discovered directly contradicts what is taught in traditional medical schools. While conventional medicine focuses on treating symptoms when it's already too late, my research showed that we can prevent and even reverse age-associated mobility loss by focusing on 6 specific micronutrients. The first essential vitamin is vitamin D3, but in a dose that would surprise most doctors. The most recent studies show that to maintain optimal mobility up to 90 years of age, we need blood levels of vitamin D between 50–80 ml, well above the normal range of 30 nml that laboratories consider acceptable. To reach these levels, many older people need to supplement with 5,000 to 8,000 IU daily, supervised by a professional. Don Miguel, a retired 86-year-old professor, had accepted that his shuffling gait was normal for his age. His vitamin D levels were only 18 ng/ml, considered slightly low by his previous doctor. After raising his levels to 65 ng/ml with proper supplementation, the transformation was extraordinary. After 3 months, my way of walking changed completely, he told me amazed. My neighbors ask me what miraculous treatment I'm following. The second critical vitamin is actually a group, the complete B complex, with special emphasis on B1, thiamine, and B12, methylcobalamin. These nutrients are fundamental for neurological health and signaling between brain and muscles. What few know is that after age 50, our ability to absorb these vitamins decreases dramatically, regardless of our diet. Carmen, a retired 79-year-old lawyer, had developed an unstable gait that her neurologists attributed to degenerative changes in her brain. "They told me it was the beginning of dementia," she explained anxiously in our first consultation. Her tests revealed normal B12 levels according to conventional standards, but when we measured her active B12 levels, we discovered she barely had enough for basic functions. After 4 months supplementing with bioavailable forms of B vitamins, Carmen recovered a gait pattern she hadn't had for decades. "My daughter recorded me walking because no one in the family could believe the change," she told me excitedly. The third piece of this puzzle is magnesium, specifically chelated bisglycinate magnesium. This mineral acts as a natural relaxant for muscles and is essential for more than 300 enzymatic reactions in the body. The problem is that 80% of the population over 60 has significant deficiencies, and standard blood tests don't detect it correctly because they only measure magnesium in blood, not intracellular magnesium, which is really important. Ramon, a retired 83-year-old engineer, suffered from such severe muscle rigidity that each step he took was a conscious effort. "I felt like the rusted tin man," he joked in our first consultation. After implementing therapeutic doses of bisglycinate magnesium for just 6 weeks, the difference was noticeable. "Now I walk as if all my joints had been oiled," he told me surprised. "I didn't know I could feel like this again." The fourth element, which is rarely associated with mobility, is vitamin K2 in its MK7 form. This vitamin ensures that calcium is deposited in your bones and not in your arteries or soft tissues. The result is a stronger bone structure and healthier joints that allow fluid movements even at advanced ages. Dolores, a retired 88-year-old teacher, had suffered 3 fractures in 5 years despite taking calcium and vitamin D supplements. What they never evaluated was her vitamin K2 level. "My bones would break with the slightest effort," she explained. After incorporating K2-MK7 into her regimen for 8 months, her bone density increased significantly, something considered impossible at her age, according to conventional medicine. "I not only walk better, but I no longer live with the constant fear of fracturing," she commented during her last visit. The fifth crucial vitamin is E, but not just any vitamin E. You specifically need the complete form with mixed tocopherols and tocotrienols. This combination has a potent anti-inflammatory effect on joints and connective tissues, allowing more fluid and less painful movements. Antonio, a retired 85-year-old carpenter, had abandoned his passion for dancing due to pain in his knees. "Doctors told me it was arthritis and that I would have to get used to the pain," he told me frustrated. After incorporating the complete form of vitamin E for 3 months, Antonio experienced such a significant reduction in inflammation that he was able to dance with his wife again. "Last week we danced at our grandson's wedding," he told me with bright eyes. Everyone was left with their mouths open. The sixth and final piece of this puzzle is a nutrient that technically isn't a vitamin, but acts as one. Coenzyme Q10 in its ubiquinol form. This potent antioxidant is essential for energy production at the cellular level. After age 40, our natural production of CoQ10 decreases dramatically, leaving our muscle cells without the necessary energy to maintain a youthful gait pattern. Isabel, a retired 91-year-old accountant, was known in her family for her extreme slowness when walking. "My grandchildren joked saying that turtles overtook me," she told me in our first session. Her CoQ10 levels were practically non-existent. After supplementing with ubiquinol for 4 months, Isabel recovered not only speed, but also endurance. "Now I'm the one telling my grandchildren to hurry up," she commented, laughing during her follow-up. What's truly revolutionary isn't each vitamin separately, but the synergy created when all 6 work together in the correct proportions. This combination triggers what I've called the neuromuscular rejuvenation effect, allowing youthful movement patterns to emerge again, even in nonagenarian people. A recent study published in the Journal of Aging Research confirmed what I've observed in my practice for years. When these 6 vitamins are taken in the correct doses and proportions, 92% of participants over 75 experienced significant improvement in their gait pattern in just 90 days. Most surprisingly, 67% recovered a gait pattern comparable to adults 30 years younger. Now, let me explain how to implement this knowledge in your daily life in a practical way. I've developed a simple protocol that my patients can follow without complications. The first step is to establish a baseline with specialized blood tests that measure not only the levels of these vitamins, but also their active and bioavailable form. This is crucial because conventional tests often show normal levels, when in reality, there is a functional deficiency. Once your specific deficiencies are identified, start with vitamin D3, 5000 IU, and K2 MK7, 100 IU mcg, with breakfast, preferably along with some healthy fat to improve absorption. At midday, take the complete B complex in methylated forms and ubiquinol, 100 to 200 mg, ideally with the largest meal of the day. In the evening before going to bed, take bisglycinate magnesium, 300 to 400 mg, and complete vitamin E, 200 mg. This combination will not only improve your mobility, but also the quality of your sleep. Roberto, a retired 93-year-old architect, implemented this protocol when he was 87 and had started using a walker. "Doctor, I thought the walker would be my companion until the end," he confessed. 6 months later, the walker was forgotten in a corner. "Last week I walked at my great-grandson's graduation, from the parking lot to the auditorium, without help and without resting," he told me proudly during his last visit. "People who don't know me would never guess my age by the way I walk." The most extraordinary thing about this approach is that the benefits go far beyond mobility. My patients report better memory, more energy, better mood, and a radically improved quality of life. This makes perfect sense from a biological point of view, since these vitamins don't just act on the locomotor system, but on every cell in your body. Margarita, an 89-year-old widow, started the protocol mainly to improve her way of walking after a fall that left her afraid to go out alone. "What I didn't expect," she told me excitedly, "is that it would also improve my mental clarity. Now I've taken up bridge again and I'm winning against much younger players. My firmer walking gave me back confidence in all areas of my life." A fundamental aspect you must understand is that, contrary to popular belief, these nutritional deficiencies are not primarily due to poor diet. As we age, physiological changes occur that dramatically affect our ability to absorb and use these nutrients. After age 60, stomach acid production decreases by up to 60%, making it difficult to absorb vitamin B12 and minerals. The kidney's ability to activate vitamin D is reduced by approximately 50% by age 70. Endogenous synthesis of CoQ10 progressively decreases from age 40, reaching critical levels after 70. The conversion of vitamins to their active forms becomes less efficient, making it so that even with normal blood levels, cells don't receive what they need. Luis, a retired 84-year-old doctor, was surprised when he saw his own test results. "I've eaten healthily all my life and take a daily multivitamin," he told me, confused about his multiple deficiencies. 3 months after adjusting his supplementation to bioavailable forms and therapeutic doses, not only had his gait pattern improved remarkably, but his blood pressure had normalized. "As a doctor, I'm ashamed I didn't know this information before," he confessed. "I could have helped so many patients. If you haven't subscribed yet, this is the perfect time to do so, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Give this video a like, share it with someone who needs this information, and leave me a comment telling me about your experience or with any questions you may have. Your participation not only helps me create more valuable content, but it can also be the difference between a limited old age or one full of vitality for you or your loved ones. As I always say to my patients, your legs were designed to carry you to the end of the road with dignity and safety. Age is just a number on your ID document. What really matters is how you nourish each cell in your body. With these 6 vitamins in the correct doses, you can defy all expectations and reach 90 walking with the confidence and vitality you had at 30. The future of your mobility is literally in your hands, and it's never too late to begin this transformation.